Well, good evening, everyone. Uh, this is Megan of Untitled Podcast, along with Dave of Untitled Podcast.
Aye.
Um, we're just gonna get something out of the way before we actually go on air Wednesday. Um, and I think this is a must listen to regarding the whole IWC and everything, and all the Tumblr fandom. I'm just gonna give a little synopsis about what this is about. And I hope nobody gets pissed off. Nobody blocks anyone about this, because if you block someone for stating what they want to say, then chances are you are a damn coward because you don't want to hear the truth. Anywho, so on episode 18, that is 2 podcasts ago, that was the Money in the Bank prediction show, where prior towards the Money in the Bank prediction show, Dave and I discussed about relationships within the wrestling community. And I said that who gives a flying ass fuck about what's gonna happen? What happens? Who dates who? It's none of our business. Eventually, all hell broke loose on yesterday. Matter of fact, it was crazy. It was like a bomb went off, and I feel like this is sort of like what happened when the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. So I'm gonna step aside because I'm not really the best reader out there. I'm gonna have Dave read it off because he's better than I am. So, Dave, the floor is
Yeah,
yours.
because I gotta do this. Alright.
Well, you're the stronger reader than I am.
Okay, you said this cut off at the start. What are you supposed to say?
Before I.
Okay. Okay. Right. What are you clearing your throat for? You're not even reading it.
No, I'm just getting ready to prepare to do some Major Dragon.
Alright. Before I spam anyone's timeline on how I felt about what I saw yesterday. That's just bad sentence structure. However, since everyone's mostly calmed down, I will talk about how I'm feeling. Gonna use Twit longer, which you use for this. Because again, I don't want to spam anyone's feeds up about how I'm feeling. About feds.
I've been grammar Nazi, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I've only gone twice. I'm sure everyone yesterday saw the Tottenham versus Liverpool game, soccer, whatever you Yanks like to call it, in which Liverpool won the sixth title. I don't, I could explain the whole thing, but you don't want to. I don't follow soccer, or is what it's called over there in Europe. I do know people who do so. I must respect that. However, one of my fellow wrestlers is a Spurs fan, Tottenham and San Antonio. And I jokingly said that if they won the title, he would have to dance for the Intercontinental title in victory. That wasn't the case. I said above, it was Liverpool. I already know where this is going. However, prior towards the game, Finn would post a photo of him and Vero, whatever,
Yeah, that's her name.
which I've been seeing online as of late, but blew it off because it's not my business on what goes on between the two of them, or the both of them, despite how I feel, which I will talk about in here. I walked away for a minute or so and came back. I saw there was a video of Finn, who the fans thought was drunk and tipsy, asked Vero about the rumors going on, leading her to frantically admit what Finn said. Of course, relationship wrestling, Twitter, and Tumblr went nuts for the whole thing, and I thought it was couple goals. Others believed it was classist and tacky for what happened. Now I know people are going to say, "Oh my God, how is Megan feeling? How is she going? How she feels that her favorite wrestler's not dating her? Is Megan heartbroken?" I'm not. I'll stop at the interruptions. I'm gonna say it off the bat right now that I'm completely fine. It's not like I'm spending time wasting my breath on who is dating who, because quite frankly, who gives a flying fuck about who dates who? I said in episode 18 of the podcast where the whole Becky and Seth situation came out, and I mentioned this. Dave, who's been my friend for near 13 years, and my co-host said in the show, all because Becky's dead and Seth will not stop him from being a fan of her, and said that if someone was to get hurt, if Becky or Finn, I would give them a piece of my mind and walk away. Do you honestly think that I'm going to stop being a fan of Finn because of this? The answer, no, because he's with someone does not make one stop supporting him. As one of my friends said before, if there is no support, there's nothing. I buy his stuff, tweet him when I get it, and go to shows. It's showing what I'm doing as a fan. Now this leaves me with the people saying what Finn said was tacky. I've asked a couple of my friends, especially my friend who was with me when we watched the video, as well as people's quote claims they would get in trouble for this stunt. Well, I do have a bad feeling something might happen. It wasn't like he was doing anything illegal. He didn't drive home drunk or get into a fight with anybody. I don't know parts of wrestling, Twitter, or Tumblr would think that. What was it heartbreaking for me to see? Yes, because I've seen my best friend of a near 14 years become very drunk and become very obnoxious. I must put on this face and say things to her so she wouldn't get pissed off, but deep down inside I'm hurting because I personally don't like it. But let me ask Wrestling Twitter and Tumblr this, and I highly doubt you're 21. But I'll ask anyway. Have you seen anyone you cared for drunk and make a total ass of themselves that you thought was funny, but on the inside you didn't know what to say to them or you felt hurt? On my fingers I can count that I was drunk 5 times and I said shit that I woke up the next morning and regretted it. Do you think Finn's regretting it right now as he's waking up? I don't have a say because I'm not there. However, I should get it through my thick skulls that not not only is he a wrestler, he's a fucking goddamn human being, and we will do dumb shit. We all do dumb shit. Yeah. Uh, Sometimes I want to punch these fucking blogs in the face because you guys are fucking morons when you are fucking posting this ridiculous shit when you're the fucking ones who's fucking wanting so and so to be a couple. Fucking bucket. Uh, holy fuck! Did I need to get this this shit out because it was boiling at me. I think the swear count is like 14.
Damn, I was
I don't
pissed.
know. I wasn't even counting. Bottom line is this: if Finn and Vera are happy, they're happy. But as I stated before, I do have to be honest. Personally, I didn't like the approach of the emojis because I was getting a headache looking at this, and it was driving me nuts. I felt like there should have been something better, or maybe picture. Well, a picture did work, so we got that set. Now here's messages for a few people in tough love. Finn, you're my favorite for a lot of reasons. I'm not mad at you, never will be, because I cannot hate someone so kind and so caring. Hell, I still will travel far to see you, even if I'm sick, and still get your merch. But I do have to give tough love. Yes, it was a game. Yes, we're all going to drink and have a good time. But don't let people bring you down because of this. You're one of my favorite Intercontinental champions out there. I will be highly devastated if something happens Friday. Don't let these haters bring you down because you had too much. To Vero, I don't know you and haven't interacted that much online with you. Finn does care about you a lot, which is cool because, however, like Finn, I must be highly brutally honest. But consider this tough love like him. You kept cool during a highly embarrassing situation for you, which I respect you for. But as a woman speaking to a woman when it comes to guys, you sure did bait him to this moment, which I did in the past when it comes to guys, but blocked it if I got out of control. If I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have done it. I would have kept it quiet, privately, and it's sad that eyes without faces have to bring this up. I hope for the sake of you and Finn, you've talked this out. That's all I'm going to say about that. To wrestling Twitter and Tumblr, I said on episode 18 that you need to cool it down. But after yesterday, you motherfuckers need Jesus and a good exorcism with the way you damn fools acted yesterday when it came to stuff. It's not that deep, and you're not anyone's boss. The only thing that should control what they do is themselves when they drink or their actions. Just cool the fuck down for once. That's all I gotta say.
You know, I'm trying my best not to bust out laughing when you read the "Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus" part because that is a meme, and it
Meme.
obviously that is a meme. Excuse me, and I thought that was funny. I just had to add that in. But I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I'm gonna talk to you about this first. You're from Ireland.
Am I? Yeah,
You
yeah, I
sound like
am.
you're
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Boston.
yeah.
Okay, you're from Ireland. You live near pubs. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's one, like literally like 2 minutes away from my house.
Okay, another question. Have you been to, you've been to sports?
I'm into sports. What?
Have you been to sports games?
No, actually. But I know
Okay.
of them. I know what happens to them.
You know people are going to drink regardless, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you said yesterday that he did go what did you exactly say yesterday?
I see. He was just enjoying the game.
Okay. So
That's it.
he was just enjoying the game. He was just having a good time like he always is. And he wasn't doing anything bad. He wasn't doing anything legal as I said before. So, I don't know what the issue was with people saying he was drunk, okay? Or tipsy, one of the two. Thing is he in trouble? No, because again, he's on a WWE grounds. Think of how many people said, think of how many people we see from WWE getting arrested for DWI. If he played it safe, that's fine. He should not be in trouble. Now, I do have to be honest, and I was really honest. Now I'm going to be really honest on air. I watched it again. I watched the video again, and for some reason, before I actually wrote that, I put the little clip of Thomas the Tank Engine of to top him hat saying, "I really don't know," because quite frankly, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how the fuck to feel. That's why I'm a little bit upset, and I have the fuse that's ready to go blow off. But I'm seeing a lot of people on Tumblr. Twitter has cooled down. It's the Tumblr that seems to be an issue these days. And I'm going to read something pretty interesting that's probably going to be up for a debate here. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite blogs, hence sarcasm in my voice. The actually instigators and instigators. So I'm going to read some pretty interesting stuff that I found. Someone said, "What does Vero's post mean? Best day of her life until today." That can mean anything. And then someone says, "What's it? Finn may have proposed." Okay, first off, let's not assume about what that means because anything could happen. You could have a good day of your life until something happened today. Okay, something may have happened along the way that someone got into a fight with each other or they got into a fight. I don't know. Let's not assume. Another thing was, uh, anyone think Finn cheated on Kathy with Vero? Um, okay, I don't have a say in that. Um, again, we don't know. Kind of funny that this is all coming out. We don't know who cheated on what. Next part. Someone submitted yesterday. I just hope Finn doesn't get in trouble. That's all. And then someone said, "Why would Finn get in trouble? It's Vera who was the one who would end up." The poor girl looked floored when he started to announce their relationship on TV. Okay, I've learned this from Ricky. Ricky happens to be one of my friends here. You don't hear him, but he does work in the MTA. He's a former journalist. He used to be a part of Hot 100. I can see where this is coming from. If you're in a situation where someone grabs you, you know that person is drunk, you need to end the segment right away. It happened on the Megan E. Fed project back a couple years ago when someone went on a verbal and decided to blast another promotion, and I had to stop it because it was in my control. It was my podcast, and I couldn't let it get out there. I can see where this person is coming from. Do you have any thoughts on that, Dave?
Sorry.
I'm gonna say it again. I just hope that Vero doesn't get in trouble. That's all. Why would Vero get in trouble? Excuse me. Why would Finn get in trouble? It's Vero who was the one who would end up in trouble. The poor girl looked forward when he started announcing their relationship to the world live on TV.
I don't see why. Like, why would he get in trouble for that? It's not like that's not. It's like if he get in trouble for that, then how come Becky didn't get in trouble for name dropping Seth during that whole Twitter exchange that basically outed them? You know.
Okay, that is a good thing too. But as a reporter, you're reporting someone. You have to have that control. Okay, to be honest, I don't want to sound like a douchebag or anything like that because I don't want to come off as a New York douchebag. But I'm gonna have to be that New York douchebag. She is going. I personally believe she should get reprimanded for that because she lost control. That's how I feel because you see reporters out there. They have to stop. Like a lot of people that go, "Fuck you" on camera, they have to move away. Why didn't she cut away when Finn was starting to get unruly? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being brutally honest here. Another thing that another popped out of my eye. So I can find it. I can find it. Okay. Finn crashing his girlfriend Vero's job while she was reporting for a soccer game wasn't goals. It was him being a drunk idiot, making a fool out of himself and her while she clearly looked embarrassed and tried to make the best of it. She had to go interview him because he wouldn't shut up on the sidelines. He looked like an idiot and she was generally clueless. That's not goals, ladies and gentlemen. And then someone said this. Uh I don't like putting anyone in blast, but lot of the things, a lot of things, a lot of things are just popping in my head. I agree. I think she looked fucking uneasy in that moment. He's an idiot for acting away. If you don't want to make your relationship public, don't make it the way it makes your partner look like. Yes, I'm fucking hurt by this. This is the first and only. Okay, so yada yada yada. Okay, so I don't want to go. I don't want to go into it. So as much as I love Finn but don't know Vero, I'm gonna have to put the fault at both of them. And again, I'm gonna have to be really brutally honest. It does hurt. It does 100% hurt when you see someone you care for act like that. I just hope there's no consequences get involved. Secondly, as a reporter, okay, as a reporter, she should have stopped. A lot of reporters do that. Hell, reporters punch people in the face. Have you ever seen videos of that? Why did I get just
On the
silent?
occasion, I think that
Okay,
might be what you did. Sorry.
reporters in Brazil punch people in the face to get them off. They have to resign. Why didn't the report? Why didn't she stop it? That's the one thing. Why didn't she stop it? It all comes down to the bait thing. Okay, I don't know when they decided to elope in the relationship, but at the same time, if that was me, I would have cut it and then talked to him privately. Like, hey, I'm trying to do a job. Let's not PDA in front of the whole fucking world. So, Dave, I sound like Dave. I sound like Dave when he yells at me. Now I'm sounding like him, basically talking to Finn and Vera at the same time, saying, "Hey, this was not cool. This should have been another way for them to basically bring this out." I mean, it sucks because eyes without faces, as we call them, had ruined this. It's the same bull hockey that happened with Kathy and Finn. When an eyes without a face decides to take a picture and post it online. Now with that video out in the world, God knows what could happen. That's the problem I have. That highly disturbs me. So, do you have anything to say? Because I'm like dominating the whole conversation here.
Go ahead. I don't really have anything to say.
Okay, Dave doesn't have anything to say. But bottom line is this: I don't want anything to happen. Nobody deserves to lose their job over getting drunk or tipsy. Sound like he was tipsy. Nobody should lose their job over a mistake that should have been controlled. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. But if you're on the forefront, if I've seen, okay, I have to bring this up again. Another perfect example, John Ryan Murphy. I'm sorry if I have to talk about this, but there was control here. Meredith, I forgot her last name. She's part of the Yes Network. John Ryan said we're on the same page, and that page is drinking. He was sort of drunk, but he kept us cool. and Meredith kept her cool, and she cut away. So, what was the issue with cutting away? That's the problem I have here. Again, like I said, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but I'm sounding like a douchebag right now. To me, I just feel there should have been a restraint. It should have been stopped. And at the end of the day, I hope nothing happens, because if anything happens, guess who's going to be very pissed off? And guess who's actually going to have to calm down, Dave?
Uh-huh.
Because shit finna get real up in this bitch. You know, if I get blocked for what I said, then then people don't want to hear it. Okay. But another thing is, I'm not encouraging their relationship. Quite frankly, like I said, if they're happy, they're happy. And I said on that podcast, episode 18, I was involved with somebody prior towards this happening. Okay? It's not a big deal on me. Do I care? No. I don't care if they're dating or not. Good. Mazel tov. Same thing with Becky. But if anyone gets hurt, I'm whooping someone's ass. But now I just feel like she may have hurt him, and vice versa. I can't defend both at this rate. Because if I'm defending both, I'm bringing more to the cause. I have to reprimand them. Now, I will still yell, "I'm a man," do my shtick, because that's me. I can't stop supporting Finn, but you can tell in my voice there is disappointment. There is very, very, very disappointment, and I'm not really disappointed in my favorite, because if I'm disappointed in my favorite, I would be cussing. But when I'm talking like this, when I'm not crazy right now, I'm being serious. And quite frankly, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself again. I'm being dead horse. I don't want anything happening, because if all right, are we actually predicting the show on Wednesday when we get the chance, or no?
We'll leave the the wrestling stuff to Wednesday. This is just on its own.
Okay, so we'll leave the wrestling stuff to Wednesday. Okay, so in closing thoughts of my podcast, since this is basically a Megan dominated, again, Vero and Finn, I'm disappointed. Um, I'm confused, and I'm also hurt. I don't get hurt a lot that often by some things, but in this case, as the Chapman had said, I really don't know. At this rate, let me ask you this: should I just stop my fandom right there?
No.
Okay, so why? Okay, let me ask you this. Maybe you don't care neither.
I'll just say this. It's just sometimes when like you're a fan of someone's, like you're a big fan of him, of someone, like you or Finn or me or Becky and all that, we're so much into the fandom that we would like to believe that the people that we follow are perfect, that they can't do anything wrong, that they, the model citizens, they save kittens from trees and that kind of crap, But they're not. They're human. Human beings, and nobody's perfect. Everybody's got their flaws. Everybody's got their weaknesses. Everybody's got their little traits that aren't exactly ideal. And if, to be a real fan, you have to be someone who can see those flaws, address them, and acknowledge them. It's like me. It's like me when talking about like Becky stuff on here. I do not. Well, when we bring her up on the shows and all that, I do not come out here and say, that's the best segment of the show. There was nothing completely wrong with that. Every time she's on there, it's 100% perfect, no problems whatsoever. I still critique, like I was saying, the whole Rumble to WrestleMania thing was a clusterfuck, and not everything was that great. her being on every show was a bit too much. The stuff, some of the stuff, I'm not saying this like, I'm basically not saying she's perfect. I still critique and all that. You can critique, no problem, you know. And that's what you do, and that's what you're doing here. To be fair, you don't do as much critiquing as I do. But
It,
it's fine to do that, you know. This is not, uh this is not like a revelation where it's like, oh, you thought you went up to the tree to save a cat, but actually you took a tree out of the cat and then threw it in front of a car. It's not that thing. It's not that kind of thing, you know.
yeah, I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have cats myself.
I'm not condoning that kind of thing. I'm trying to use a metaphor, and you get it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, take off when I see. You know how emotional I was, right?
I know
Back.
how emotional you can get.
Okay, everyone knows, but I feel like people are also penalizing him for having a drink. I
Right,
feel
like,
like
but
he.
here's but now but here's the thing. It's this will probably come out. This may come out as like hypocritical to those who do that. It's like, and actually, this is coming from a sober person.
Hence the name Sober Dave.
Exactly. If you are critiquing somebody for having a drink and having a good time at like a special occasion like that, can you truthfully say that you've never done something like that already? Like yourself. Excuse me, like those people are coming out of there and say, oh my god, he's drunk and all that. Yeah, have you gotten drunk before? You know,
I did,
have you?
yes.
No, I'm not talking to you specifically. I was like,
Okay.
have you been drunk before? Have you not, gone out with friends and looked like an ass? Or made yourself look like an ass or something like that? Have you not done anything you might, wake up the next morning and realize, oh shit, what did I do last night? Have you ever done if it's like if you say no to that, you either never had a drink or you're lying. You know? So like if those, you know, it like basically the only basically the only people who can say that he can't do anything wrong is basically a priest. You know, that's it. It's like that's it. It's like the only people that can say you did something wrong and they can look at themselves like, hey, you didn't do anything wrong as a priest. That's it.
Now let me ask you this question: do you think Vero should have controlled the situation a little bit better than
Well, I'm not.
expected?
Well, I didn't necessarily look at the video or whatever like that, but I'm just that's for context. But I think it's just sometimes it's like like if it's a live thing, it's a spur of the moment thing.
Hang
Sometimes
on, hang on, hang on. Let me get you that.
no, I don't need to.
Okay.
But it's like if it's kind of sometimes on when you're doing live TV, you don't always react perfectly professional in a way. It's like if something like that happens, usually you don't react the way you should because at the spur of the moment you don't think of it. Like it's like if you can look back in hindsight. It's like, oh man, I should have done that. I should have done this. But at the moment, at the time, how likely is it that you would have thought of that immediately? Like you could have thought about it happening, doing that 30 minutes afterwards, but could you have done it a second after it?
So you're saying it's a state of shock. It's
Yeah,
basically a
it's a
state of.
kind of a bit of state of shock, but also like, you say you can kind of control things, but it's another thing where it's like when you're like a reporter or something like that, you have to try to stay professional. You have to try to stay, top, top of your game and all that. So most of the time, you don't have to do that. You don't have to jump in and say, "Oh no, stop doing that," or those kind of things. So you usually don't think of doing something like that. Like I've seen plenty of cases where like videos online where you see like live reporter stuff where it's one of those, you're talking in front of a camera thing, and like some drunk guy comes up behind you, trying to, trying to get on TV and all that, and they react
Hold on,
not professionally, kind of thing. What?
Should I say it?
Say what?
I know our friend Jeremy is probably going to listen to this, and I do have to say it.
Go on.
Effort right in the.
Ugh.
The effort right in the what guy.
Yeah.
It's it's like that.
I'm not talking about what the guy does. I'm talking about how the reporter reacts. Like I was saying before, like I was trying to say. There'll be times when it's like you're a reporter in front of a camera and there's a guy behind you trying to be funny, and then the reporter just comes out and either attacks him or swears at him or something like that, and that kind of thing. So it's like sometimes it's like you don't think about it out of frustration or shock or anything like that, because like you are always focused on reading what's on, trying to report something, trying to read something in front of your TV and all that, or that kind of thing. That's like you don't necessarily prepare yourself for what if, I don't know, a horse runs into the camera or that kind of thing, like, or what if 5 cats jump on me. You don't prepare for that. You prepare for doing your job. You don't prepare for X, Y, and Z to happen. Even if you're you're interviewing people, it's the danger of live TV where anything and everything can happen. So it's like you can't prepare for every single possible occurrence.
So let me ask you this question: do you think she's at fault? Do you think Finn's at fault too?
From what I heard, I think also everyone's at fault in their own particular way.
Okay, so why do you think Finn is at fault?
Because he is of a position where he needs to be of a higher regard. He can't, like, he knows he's a public figure. So he's always gonna be seen in these kind of things, or he's always gonna be, like basically he's kind of like he's an ambassador for the company that he's employed by. So he needs to know that he needs to be he needs to present himself in a specific way, and this isn't that way. Fine, you can enjoy yourself and all that, and fine, you could be able to have a good time and all that. And I don't know, the occasion is the occasion, so there you go. But you also need to realize, if I'm in this state, maybe I really shouldn't be on TV, or that kind of thing, Or even if he is on TV, you don't blurt out stuff like this.
Okay, I do see that point, because the camera immediately went to him, which okay. Let me ask you this question: why do you think Vera's at fault?
In a way, I'm not really sure if for what I'm about to say, I don't know if she's at fault or the producer at fault, but whoever put him on the camera in the first place, he may be part of a famous person, but if they know he's drunk or tipsy or whatever it is, they really shouldn't put him on the screen.
Okay, hang on. I asked Dave and I know this guy. He's my cousin-in-law, Drew, and I asked him, and he said he watched the video, and he said the one who should be at fault is Vero and the producers.
Yeah, no, I'd say I go on.
Okay, she should ignore Finn, or the producer should have cut out and not give any time. Now, in Finn's case, I can't really say, because it did sound like he's tipsy, and it did sound like he was drunk. However, I can't think. But if Megan, me, said, because I did read, he also did read what I said. said if he didn't do anything illegal or get into a fight with that Liverpool fan, then he's
Oh
not at
God.
fault. He's not at fault. He shouldn't
Let's
be.
yeah let's not talk about Liverpool fans getting in fights, please. That's
So Drew believes that it's Fox Sports Mexico and Vero's fault. He thinks it's Vero's fault more than Finn's fault.
I will say it's fault for Vera and the producers for putting them on the screen and Finn for not saying no. Like he put him like he could have easily said no, I can't in this condition. But he went on it anyway.
Now, this leads to the rock and the hard place, WWE. I know we are going to be and we're going to be talking about wrestling on Monday and Wednesday, and I don't know if we're going to cover Blood Money. You said it's a glorified house show.
Oh, Showdown. Yeah.
What?
You said
What'd
Blood
you say?
Money.
Blood Money.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Blood Money Super Showdown, you said it's
a glorified house show.
Okay. Do you think Finn's going to drop the title at Blood Money?
No. Because he's at fault, but like I said, he didn't throw a cat in front of a car. Okay. I don't see this as that bad of a punishable offense. I think it's like he may get something from it, like he may get like a slap on the wrist or a warning or something like that. But I don't see him getting pushed down to 205 Live. No disrespect to 205 Live for this.
You know? I will be in shock on Friday if I see Andrade beat the Demon. And I will be upset if this happens. Because I'm going to be getting some ass.
I'll ask this in return. Do you really think this is a suspendable offense?
Judging by WWE basically having Usos win the title at Elimination Chamber, after they got arrested, we've seen people get arrested in the past for drunk driving. The consequences have. Oh, excuse me, Swagger with the pot.
But you just mentioned it. One of the Usos got arrested for a DUI and still won the titles the next week.
I think he's going to get warned.
Yeah.
But not suspended. That's what I'm
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not a punishable offense. It's you may get a lashing, but I don't think it's it's a career threatening.
It like I said, it wasn't. He didn't do anything bad. He didn't do anything illegal. He didn't throw a fucking cat in front of. Now I'm saying a cat in front of a car. He didn't get into a fight with anyone. Someone said he was on the train. He was fine, so he may have sobered up along the way.
Yeah.
So that could be a good sign. But I think a lesson needs to be learned here for all parties. If you know you're intoxicated or tipsy, don't go on camera. If you know someone is tipsy, don't go on camera. If you know someone is tipsy, that's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. Excuse me. So you're saying you're saying Fox Sports Mexico, Vero, and Finn are at fault?
Yeah, everyone's at fault for different reasons.
Okay. All right, so I guess we're on the same boat here. All of them are at fault. Pretty much. So, other than that, as I said, we may have big douchebags or anything, but we're just being brutally honest. I'm just saying this right now. If I see a news report saying Finn's in trouble, I'm whooping someone's ass. So you know whose ass I'm exactly whooping. Anyway, so no violence on my show. So I guess that wraps up our impromptu podcast. Tune in Wednesday for episode 21, where we'll be legal to drink. Thursday?
Yeah, we record on Wednesday. We upload on Thursday.
Okay. Tune in Thursday, where we talk about wrestling we cover. And as I said, if I see a wrestling report, Megan's not going to be pretty happy. All right. So thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.